Yo, what is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, like always, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Square Enix says that the Nintendo Switch is a very attractive and important platform to them, and plus more. So Square Enix has been one of the strongest supporters of the Nintendo Switch early in the console's life cycle, between what's already out on the system, some of it which hasn't came over to America yet or to the West, like the Secret of Mana collection. But aside from that, the company as a whole does love the platform, especially when it comes to the RPG sector. Project Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest XI, Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2, and Lost Sphere are just a few of the games that are coming or already out on the system. And there's a big reason why Square Enix wants to support the Switch the way that it's doing. In an interview with MCV, CEO Yusuke Matsuda said that the system is a very attractive and important platform to them. He also said that the Switch is a unique piece of hardware. Here are his full words. The Nintendo Switch is a very attractive and important platform for us. As a games company, having the breadth in our portfolio is very important, with the Nintendo Switch being such a unique piece of hardware. For gamers, Nintendo is very closely attached to the JRPG because so many of them out back in the Super Nintendo days. Matsuda also commented on I Am Setsuna in relation to the Nintendo Switch and how the project was originally being created, and Square Enix wasn't even targeting the system in particular since it hadn't been released at the time of its development. So, quote, "When we started work on Project Setsuna, the Nintendo Switch wasn't even out yet. There was no information about it. We really set out to make this style of game and to make it on a home console, but we didn't really have any particular ideas about which console we were going to go for in the planning stage." And as you guys all know, I Am Setsuna ended up launching on the Nintendo Switch worldwide back in March. In addition to that, we also have Lost Sphere, which is already out on the Nintendo Switch in Japan and is coming out in the US and Europe in January 2018. So it's definitely good to hear a couple different things that he had to say as far as the CEO of Square Enix, is that Nintendo fans are closely associated with the Super Nintendo Japanese RPGs. Like, there's a big intake of people who remember playing Super Nintendo as a kid, have grown up and are picking up the Switch and are picking up Japanese RPGs or want Japanese RPGs to come to Nintendo Switch. And I have to 100% agree, he perfectly describes me. Grew up with the Super Nintendo, absolutely love Japanese RPGs. I want to see all of them, every single one of them, as far as what Square Enix is doing, come to Nintendo Switch. Like, every single one should. I don't think there should be any excuses. I don't care what engine it's running on. I don't care what they try to tell me. Make the Nintendo Switch version. Like, there should be, in my opinion, all of Square Enix's Japanese RPG library on the Nintendo Switch at some point. I still feel stuff like Final Fantasy XII, the remake, that should come over to Nintendo Switch. World of Final Fantasy should come over as well. And there's a number of other games that they can bring over in their back catalog of games, rebooting the IPs like they've already talked about. So hopefully Square Enix gets on top of things here and they really drive home the point as far as Japanese RPGs and just games in general in 2018 and beyond. I do honestly feel there are going to be a lot of retro and old school announcements for the Nintendo Switch coming in 2018, so definitely look out for that. So what do you guys think about what the Square Enix CEO had to say on the Nintendo Switch? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next article here, Street Fighter V Season 3 Character Pass adds Sakura, Blanca, Falk, Cody G, and Sagat. Sakura launches on January 16th as well. Plus, we get to watch the cinematic opening for Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, which I'm probably not going to be playing because that is going to be copyrighted. So the Season 3 Character Pass for Street Fighter V will add Sakura, Blanca, Falk, Cody G, and Sagat to the roster of playable characters Capcom has announced. Sakura will be the first to launch alongside Street Fighter V Arcade Edition on January 16th, 2018. Here's a brief overview of Sakura. Coming up first, the exuberant youth herself, Sakura, making her first appearance in Street Fighter Alpha 2. She is now graduated from high school and searches for a deeper meaning of life, all while continuing to challenge her rival, Karen, and her idol, Ryu. This time, Sakura has a few new moves in addition to her signature emulation of Ryu's playstyle. All of the updates included with Street Fighter V Arcade Edition will also be added to the base version of Street Fighter V, which is now available for the PlayStation 4 and PC via a free update. Read more about Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, link in the description below. Plus there's also V-triggers and all sorts of cool stuff. So guys, I was watching the Capcom Cup last night and it was amazing because a Super Smash Bros. Player won the whole Capcom Cup. We finally have that crossover that we needed to solidify Smash Bros. As a fighting game. No, I'm joking with all that. Smash Bros. Is. But it was really cool to watch Capcom Cup and to watch this announcement live. I remember tuning in and I was like, whoa, what is this? They had this really cool trailer for Sakura. Ono was out there and he was being typical Ono with this stuff, with the little Blanca and stuff. And they actually pulled out the Sakura trailer in addition to the Street Fighter V Arcade, and they showed off Sagat as far as him getting Shoryukened by Ryu. It was amazing. It was just amazing to watch live, but even better because a Super Smash Bros. Player, actually a Little Mac main from the Dominican Republic, he actually won all of Capcom Cup and beat many seasoned pros when it comes to Street Fighter. I mean, Tokido, who's been in the game for a long time, Daigo, who's been in the game for a long time, who was in top 8. Daigo, probably one of the most seasoned and best fighting game FGC player of all time, most heralded, most legendary FCG player of all time. He was there. It was just great to see, and I'm so happy that Mena won because he is a Little Mac main, which makes sense because he plays Birdie in Street Fighter, and Birdie is a hard-hitting, heavy impact character, and Little Mac is also the same way as well. Has some glaring weaknesses, Birdie does, and so does Little Mac, but if you can really just hone in and just beat the crap out of your opponent and be one step above them, you know, and surprise them with heavy hitting attacks, you can win. And so it was really cool to see Mena pull it off, especially because he got sent to losers. So it was interesting to see him come back from losers, reset the bracket, and take the Capcom Cup and win a cool $250,000 from Capcom. So awesome to see here. Great to see Street Fighter V Season 3 as far as the character pass, how Blanca, Sagat, all these characters are coming back. And at this point, I'm probably going to jump into Street Fighter V, guys. They've added enough characters here, and that arcade edition is going to be cool. So I'm going to probably pick it up on PS4 or PC, one of those two. So what do you guys think about the Street Fighter V Season 3 characters? Are you going to get into this franchise? What'd you think about the Capcom Cup if you watched it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the final article here, Dr. Serkan Toto on Twitter says that in a brand new interview with Nikkei, Capcom CEO Tsushimoto served up another Switch teaser, Nintendo Switch teaser that is, and he says that the home plus portable concept works better than expected, and that Capcom wants to port games to Nintendo Switch that were not available on Nintendo consoles previously. Now, some people have started to take this and run wild with it, and with Capcom saying this, I've always said this before, Capcom is portcom, and if your system sells a lot of units, they will port over games, they will bring over games that they can bring over that's not going to cause them too much of a headache. Now, people are talking about Resident Evil and other things like that, but I also took this comment as him saying that franchises, maybe he was maybe even thinking that as well. So franchises that have never been on a Nintendo system, and two that come to mind are Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma. Now, I know he said games, so that can really mean anything, but I also think he meant franchises as well. So I'm just kind of honing in on those two, and I think DMC and Dragon's Dogma, those have never been on a Nintendo console, any Nintendo console previously at all, okay? They've never been on there. Capcom has the Devil May Cry collection. Capcom also has Dragon's Dogma that they can put on there, and it wouldn't be too bad in order to get those ported over on the Nintendo Switch. So I would expect to see Dragon's Dogma and Devil May Cry HD collection on the Nintendo Switch in 2018 at some point. Now, moving on to what some other people are saying and kind of sarcastically saying some things as well. What about Resident Evil 7? What about Monster Hunter World? What about Dead Rising? What about Okami HD? There's a lot of different stuff that Capcom could bring over, and I'm hoping that those games do come over. We'll have to see. Although I do feel with Monster Hunter World, and I've talked about this before, I don't think that game is going to come over. I think, honestly, Capcom thinks enough and highly enough of the portable nature of the Nintendo Switch, the portable plus home console, to make a brand new Monster Hunter game optimized and fine-tuned for the Nintendo Switch, and I think it's going to be a separate thing that Nintendo Switch fans can get excited about when it comes to the Monster Hunter universe and the Monster Hunter franchise. I honestly think that it's going to be something separate. I just just think that Monster Hunter World was built for x86 systems. It was built for PS4. That's really what they were targeting as far as that goes. It's even being later on the PC. So I think it was built for PS4 and it's just coming over to Xbox One and PC for the Western audience just so we can increase the sales. But really, it was just built for PlayStation 4. That's really what I think the system that it was built for. And I think that Capcom is going to make its own Monster Hunter game on the Nintendo Switch. And just do something kind of different when it comes to it. Maybe it doesn't play exactly like Monster Hunter World. It has its own unique aspects and elements. Might have to wait till late 2018 or 2019 for an announcement, but I do feel that Monster Hunter will come back to Nintendo Switch in a big way, just because they rushed out Monster Hunter Double Cross on the Nintendo Switch as far as that goes. Not localizing it so far, but I honestly feel that that team, in addition to maybe even Monster Hunter Stories team, is working on a brand new Monster Hunter game. So we'll see if that happens. But what else do you guys want to see on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to Capcom's games? We're getting Mega Man and we're also getting Street Fighter. Those franchises are coming over in 2018 as well, so that's pretty cool. Mega Man 11 is looking awesome. Devil May Cry should come over as well. I want to see personally Dragon's Dogma. That's a game that I really have been wanting to play, so if they're able to bring over all the content from that and put it on the Nintendo Switch, that would be great as well. So let me know your thoughts as far as what you guys think about Capcom in addition to Street Fighter and Square Enix in the comment section below. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in for the next video. Peace.